All right, hey everyone. It's a 2022 nest collection video. Some of these were from 2021, but I wanted to do an update. If you saw last year's video around this time, some of these might look familiar. This is almost all of them. I have bald face nest that's hanging up in a closet. Usually keep my nest in containers. Feel like it's a way to preserve them. Filming with my phone. I did the last year's one with the GoPro. Just felt like using the phone this year. So we'll start. I don't know. We'll just start. Maybe we'll start on this side. All right. So this is a bald face nest. I did a couple short videos on this one. I found this one September 25th, I think. In this shrub, there's thorns in it, so they picked a good spot. Defensive spot for it, well protected. You can see the thorns there. That's the entryway. Can't really hang this one because it doesn't, like, it was a lot of branches. It's got a lot of branches supporting it, but no real central support except for this. But it was like two main branches. See if I can pick it up without. Good size nest. See, it's in good shape. Pretty intact. I got it on like the 30th of September. Can see the interior there. But this is a 2022 nest. See a branch there. Can I see that yellowish thing? That's a branch that was supporting it. Nice nest. Just not a prickly nest, you could say. Got my tetanus shot, so good for 10 years. So hopefully all good there. Nice, a lot of whites in this one, stripes. Not sure the wood source on that one. But yeah, that's a 2022 maculata bald face nest. If you're in the beginning of the video, actually, good segue, but this Germanica nest still had a few queens left. I was kind of getting them out of here before making the video, and one of them got me on the thumb. This was a Germanica nest from this year, collected from a crawl space area. Not as much activity going on as the 25th of November when I filmed it last, but most of the males are gone. There was a few workers left. The workers are all died off. There still might be some queens in there, but I got this one on November 19th of this year. See, the workers are dead. It's got 6 combs. These top 2 combs here are all reproductive or queen cells. They could have made some males, but as you can see, they mostly very productive there. Probably made 100 or 200 queens. I don't know, hard to say. There was probably maybe like 40 queens left in the nest, 45 when I collected it. So the top 2 combs are queen cells. This is the smallest comb. This is actually comb number 6 at the top. See some dead larvae still. And then the 4th comb on this side, small cells on this side of the 4th comb. You can see like this one, 6, 5, 4 small cells here. And then it's got real like large cells here on the very periphery of it. So as they were building the nest, you know, it was a 4-comb worker nest, and then probably like late August, September, they made the switch to queen cell building, so they started this comb here, and then this comb was still had some room left, so then they just tacked on the queen cells on this end. Not sure where they start exactly, but transitioned like 6 small cells there, and they transitioned, so it's like got 2.5 queen cell combs, and then worker. I didn't bother saving most of the envelope. I just saved the comb set. Then worker comes on the others, but there's still a lot of envelope there on the top, and so most of the worker cell combs are still obstructed by the envelope covering. But that's a Germanica nest right here. See a dead worker. So hopefully some people like these nest collection videos. Still see it looks like a queen in there. I think it's still living. So some of them didn't come out. And what else? So this is a maculata nest from this year. So far these are all 2022 nests. 4 combs, and this one was attached to this is the top of it here. So looks like this. These are build the strongest nests, so they're the best for displaying. As you can see, it's got ribbon supports, whereas the Germanica, it's like pillars supporting the combs. But like whereas this one, as I've mentioned in videos when I'm doing removals, it's like they have multiple worker cell combs. Like this is like 4 tiers of worker combs followed by queen combs, whereas bald-faced hornet has much less workers. It's like these combs, these 3 here, 1, 2, 3, they make males and queens. You can see you can see the difference there. The taller cap remains are where queens hatched out, and then males were the shorter ones. So males and queens, never workers in those successive combs, only the first comb, which would be, so it's like 1, 2, 3, and then this is the top, and it's smaller cells. Hopefully you can notice on the camera, but that's the comb that would have made the workers, and probably some males were hatched out from there, like later in the season. See in there, everything's hatched out. That's a maculata nest. Got it with the tree pruners, but the branch broke, so I just decided to make it a comb display. Pretty cool comb display, very level, stacked up like a cake. Yeah, that's what I think of. It kind of reminds me of that. But and then this nest here, I collected it like the following day, I think, out of a high school parking lot. Also 4 combs, probably had a larger worker population, but made about the same number of reproductives. As you can see, these 3 combs here, reproductive, workers and males, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and this was the top comb. And the interesting thing about this nest, like I said, the other one was kind of like, stacked up real neat, like even, whereas this one, the branch probably bent, and then the combs look like they're tilted if you turn it this way. So the nest was probably built initially like this, and the branch got heavy, and as it got heavy, it went this way, so then they reoriented the 3rd and 4th comb, and probably the 2nd one a little bit too. As you can see, everything's hatched out with this one, so it's kind of neat. The comb's tilted. I was able to, this top one here came off when it hit the ground, but I was able to glue it back where I thought it was, so it's fixed now. Branch broke, so I decided to and it was actually the weather, it was a windy day, and the bottom part of the envelope was damaged anyway, so I just took all the envelope off of most of it, except for the very top, as you can see, and just kept it as a comb set. So, and it's interesting because it's like, this is all open here, and then like they put the reproductive combs on one side of it, so they kind of made do with what the environment allowed. If that makes sense. Paper over. It's interesting how this is kind of papered over. They papered over those cells. Let's see if you can see the cells underneath from that side, but it doesn't look like you can. It like stops there. You can see where my thumb is, and then to the right it stops. The comb's not broken or anything. It's just they stopped building there. So actually the 3rd reproductive comb is bigger than the 2nd one, which I think is interesting. Pretty cool. And no, it's not damaged. That's just how it naturally is. They naturally kind of tilted, so it's all fully intact there. You can see the queens, all the cells look like they were productive. Made queens, the taller ones, the tall caps there, and then males, probably like the shorter ones. All right, so yep, 2020. These are all 2022. This here's a bald-faced hornet nest, and I thought they were larger in 2021. This was from 2021. I got it November 2021. Still in great shape. This is probably my favorite bald-faced out of them. And unfortunately, I guess you could hang this one, but this was the main branch, but it still had, it was in a crabapple tree, accessory branch there, so it's still not sturdy enough to really hang. I don't trust this one to really support it as much, but it's got an awesome top knot on it. Big nest. This is a good one. Probably, like I said, my favorite of the maculata. Some of the colors there, fully intact. So these are 2 intact maculatas, and then comb set, comb displays. Turn off the flash there. This is air and area. I could display this one if I wanted to, but like I said, I like keeping them in the container just to protect them from the beetles and mice. I had a mice destroy that 11.5, 12-inch air and area nest, unfortunately. So this is air and area, much smaller than the bald-faced nest. 2021 nest I found by a hiking path. It's like showing the inside, but this one had some males left when I got it. Probably made queens too. There are large cells in there, but I think I collected, yeah, it was September 2nd I collected it, 2021, so just some males left. So there were a few workers left a few days earlier, but then they seemed to be gone when I got it a couple days later. This is also air and area from 2020, so not the oldest nest I have. My nests aren't really that old, but this is one of the older ones, 2019 to the current year. So this is about an 8-inch air and area nest. It was built on the side of a building. You can see the combs on the other side, very smooth paper. This one, I don't know, it might be my favorite actually still. You kind of see. This one was cool because it's like air and area. Even though they're Dolicho Vespula, they have multiple worker combs. Like this is worker, worker, worker in the center of the third comb, and then they have periphery of the third comb or large cells, and probably like on the outside too. So like there and then like around the front are probably large cells, and this is all large cells. So like when they switched to queen cell building, they were 3 combs. Started this comb, and then whatever was left to build here. So it probably got out to about there, and then they started building the queen cells. And then it's got a small 5th comb that didn't really do much. Still attached, so everything is like intact. The combs are still attached to the envelope, so very cool nest. Hold the phone and flip it at the same time. See. All right, this nest here from 2019, the oldest nest that I have. It's about a 10-inch diameter Vespula Vidua nest. Probably had like 300 workers in it. I've never seen Vidua nests quite this big before. I'm not saying they don't get that big, but it's the biggest one I've personally seen. And if you compare it, this one's from 2022. I want to jump ahead, but you can just kind of see my smallest compared to the largest Vidua nest. It's probably like 3 times the size. This one only has 2 combs because it was built underground. There was a rock wall. You can see one of the rocks there. Not a rock wall, I'm sorry. There's stones underneath. It's like a mulched area, and then it was very stony soil, so they can only build down 2 levels. Queens on the periphery. This is another favorite of mine. So like maybe these 2 are my favorites. I don't know. It's hard to say. That's my favorite bald face, but not my favorite nest. See the top there, it's like mulch. Put the flash on. Got to vacuum my floor after this. Vacuum the rug, but you can see like the envelope's pretty well intact on the top. 2 combs, whereas this one was 3, but didn't really produce much on the third. You can see some little bit, but 3 comb nest. See the inside there. So it's got like a central ribbon support and then pillars accessory. That's the top. You can see a little bit of envelope there. My finger is the top of the nest. Everything's mostly hatched out. There were some queens left. I collected it on September 17th, and there were probably, these were all, there were, you know, there's a video of it on YouTube, but like there were still some queens on the pupa on the periphery. I put some banana slices in the container I had the nest in. The queens ate it, and then a lot of them flew away, so I don't know if they made it or not, but they at least, and then these ones never quite survived, so it's still got maybe 10 or 12 caps that didn't hatch out, like queen caps. Might be a male cap there. You can see a little one, so it's the point of attachment from where the queen started the nest. Pretty sturdy nest. I mean, the envelope's not real sturdy, but the combs are real sturdy. Everything hatched out there. Some dead ones. So there's a few that didn't have, probably some male caps there on the ends. The big Vespula, the big mama. See some waspin inside, long dead, but still pretty preserved pretty well. Still supported, everything's pretty well intact there, the construction. Cool architecture. Made a lot of queens. This is a Vespula nest. This was from a removal. I have 4 Vespulas. This one was attached to a wall. In mid-July I got it this year, 2022. Let's see here. Just an envelope from it, but you can see the insulation. So it was built in the wall. It had 2 combs when I collected it. They started a 3rd comb actually. The queen got vacuumed up, but there was actually a 2nd comb initiated when I did remove it on July 13th. That had some queen pupa, like 2 or 3 queen pupal, and then I actually in August I did see some at least 1 or 2 queens. So it looked like they did hatch out and were able to be reared. So you could say it was successful in that regard. It made some queens and probably a lot of males, since the males laid, or the workers laid male eggs. Workers can only lay male eggs. Let's see inside here. And it's just like paper from the insulation. Started a small comb there. So the envelope's pretty well intact, and it's actually pretty sturdy. I mean, you can pick this up. It's not like a maculifron's nest. I mean, it's actually feather light, but pretty sturdy. I mean, not coming apart. It's got some flexibility to it. Nice nest. 2.5 combs. I don't think this comb really did anything there. That 3rd comb there, small one. Small 3rd comb. This nest was a Vespula nest. Got this one in 2021 in August. As you can see, everything was pretty well hatched out. Good shape. Had 2 combs. It was built in a ceiling. They only had room for 2 combs, and they started chewing into the ceiling. And the homeowner was like, "Oh, it's got to go." So there's that one. Everything's hatched out there. Small cells, workers. So they're like this species Vespula is like the bald-faced hornet. They only have 1 worker rearing comb, where you can see my thumb is. Small cells and then large cells here. Made like 30 or so queens. They all hatched out. I gave some of the queens that were late hatchers, like September, some banana slices, and able to get reared from that. insulation too, so it's built in the ceiling. We're attached to some insulation around it. So yeah, I do have something else to show you. Got the Christmas tree up. This is a Polysteve's metricus nest, just a good coffee table nest. Found that one this year. Same day as I found that bald-faced hornet nest from the shrub. Good shape, was attached to a pine branch. Alright. And last but not least, the only maculata that can actually be hung because the branch was cut there, so it's suspended here in the storage closet. A dead male, I think, at the entrance. And that's all the nests, so which one's your favorite of the bunch?